All right, hi everybody. Welcome to this week 6 module video. So in week 6, we're going to be covering sections 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, and 2.5 to finish out the rest of this chapter, okay? And this is the rest of this material for this exam 1. Okay, so let's go over the module overview and learning objectives. So if you're watching this video, that means you went through this page and you were able to see this and we're able to see this week 6 module video. So here are the learning objectives for this week. It'll be using a product rule, quotient rule, higher order derivatives when given a function, interpret higher order derivatives in context, chain rule, and implicit differentiation. So most of the work for this week and this rest of this chapter is just getting tools to take derivatives of functions, right? So we're going to be able to learn all these tools so that we can apply them to more applied problems. Okay, so we're just getting a bunch of tools of how to take derivatives because the derivatives are really important to us in these applied problems. So that's kind of the goal for this week, and it's the rest of our material for exam 1, which will be next week. Okay, so same thing applies. We will have lecture videos for each of these sections, a self-check for 3 of these sections. I'm not giving self-check problems for section 2.5. That's implicit differentiation. So we just got to worry about the first 3 sections. XYZ homework. Once again, it only covers 2.3 through 2.4. I'm not giving any homework for 2.5. And lab 4, and lab 4 discussion. Once again, it's 2.5 is kind of like an extra credit question. Then you can skip one of the other 2.5 questions. That's kind of the setup for this week. So let's kind of go through this a bit. So 2.2 is learning the product and quotient rule. You're going to be learning those 2 rules in this section, how to take a derivative with product and quotient rules. So 2 new tools in the bag, and here's some lecture videos for that. Okay, so introduction and a couple examples. So the next section is 2.3, which is higher order derivatives, which is taking more than the first derivative. It's taking the second, third, fourth, etc. And that's as well with this is being able to make interpretations about our derivatives, our first or second, and talking about it in context of a problem. So that's it for 2.3. And once again, you can find these lecture videos here. Okay. So first one is higher order. Second one is about the interpretations about derivatives in the context of a problem. Okay, so 2.4 is a chain rule. It's just another rule as a much like product and quotient. It's just another tool we can use to take derivatives that make life a lot easier for us. Just another tool in the bag, and you have a couple lecture videos here, introduction, then going over some examples. Okay, that's chain rule, and then the last one is implicit differentiation. It's just another tool to take a derivative of a function. A little different though. That's why I'm not including on homework uh, requirement, right? It's just a different way to go about taking a derivative. There's not too much applied in a sense, so I'm kind of leaving that out. But it's an extra credit question if you want to try it out on the lab. So here's our self-check, right? It's just 2.2 through 2.4. And so, 2.2, just finding a derivative using product and quotient rules. 2.3, just higher order derivatives. Some interpretation here with the higher order derivatives, and then another interpretation problem here. 2.4 is just using a chain rule in these 3 problems, okay? So that's our self-check, right? There's no 2.5. It's just 2.2 through 2.4. And then make sure to check out the rubric for how it's scored. Then here's also just a self-check video where I go over all of the problems for the self-check right here, self-check 2.2. I'm going over every single one of those 2.2 problems, 2.3 and 2.4. So if you're struggling with it, no need to randomly put stuff or leave things blank. You have videos here, just follow along and write out the solutions, right? And try to understand it along the way. So make sure to check these out as well. And then we just have our XYZ homework. It's just 2.2 and 2.3. Just a couple questions there. And 2.4. And there's no 2.5. It says 2.5 here, but just kind of just annotation wise, but it's just 2.4 problems just using chain rule. So that's our XYZ homework. I think there's only like about 5 questions there. Next is a discussion, right? So just got to do your lab 4, right? I have a note here, section 2.5, number 4 is extra credit. You can skip number 32. But lab 4 is just about 2.2 to 3.4, okay? So try to submit that by Sunday. And so that leads us into the lab assignment, which is lab 4. Once again, 2.5. Number 4 is extra credits. Give number 32. And you can check your solutions here. I even gave a solution for 2.5. So if you can work your way to there, great. If not, it's okay. It's just extra credit. But yeah, so here's lab 4. So by the end of that, you should have done all these from above that we just went through. And so what is this section going to do? Well, it just, finishes up all the material for our first exam. And we're just learning a bunch of new ways to take derivatives so that we can apply these to new apply situations. So one of the things that's really applied is being able to maximize and minimize situations like cost, population, some type of business production, things like that. So derivatives just really help us out with that because we're able to find maximum and minimum things. So we're just setting up the stage for that. And it's just the last bit of material for our exam, which is next week. So we'll get there. But once again, for lab assignments, if you didn't do so well or you got a couple points off just for little things, feel free to revise and resubmit for a better grade. Okay. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's it. And then next week we'll have our exam week. But that's pretty much it for week 6. A couple sections, but it's just a bunch of derivative tools. But okay, so that's it for this week 6 module video. I'll see you guys next week. Okay.